So I deployed to Hammersmith Hospital in London, to the ICU department, which was very different to what any sort of training I had. Mainly our training's trauma care, and dealing with a casualty in the first 10 minutes to an hour. This training, well, this job, the Hammersmith job, was totally different. Dealing with patients with trachea tubes in their neck, having machines breathe for them, on dialysis, all sorts of crazy machines that I'd never dealt with. It was very intense.
We got a word nod on the Friday that we're likely to deploy to hospitals around the UK to help out with a COVID response, and then we deployed on the Sunday, and by the Monday we were in the hospital on our first induction.
They needed people pretty much before we even got there. So that day that we were getting shown around the hospital, where things were, where we're going to be working, we were almost asked, can you guys come and help now? But we needed to finish the induction, and then we were on the job the next day.
We had to wear FFP3 face masks, which the ones would seal on your face, and then you had a visor on top of that. Then you had your gown on top of the gown. You had gloves. Some people were wearing 2 pairs of gloves, then an apron, and then you go into the A&E department, and obviously because of the patients there, they have to be warm anyway, so you were just pouring with sweat. It was like, for myself, my earlier part of my career, I just spent a lot of time in Iraq and Afghanistan. It was like, it reminded me of going back into the first few days in Iraq and Afghanistan when you're trying to get used to acclimatising. So that was a bit of a challenge, getting back used to that. And then, because it was so busy, if we were there for 12 hours, it didn't feel like 12 hours. Before you knew it, it was the end of your shift and the relief were coming in.
They had to open up extra wards for the ICU department. There was a lot of COVID patients I'd never seen. I really struggled with seeing them all initially. It was very overwhelming, but then you just got to crack on.
Within an hour of being there, we started learning how to take blood gases, which you take from the arteries, and as CMTs and our practice, we would never take anything out of an artery. So within an hour of being on our first shift in the hospital, go into this guy's artery and take a sample of blood.
When they needed us to in an emergency in a hospital, we would do suction in the upper airways, and then doing a lot of blood gases, stuff that I would never do in the military. We had some really rough days where we all knew patients and then sadly they passed away. We would all talk about it together, which was really good. That teamwork and ethos together was fantastic.
It was a 20-minute walk from our hospital to the hotel we were staying in. It was a 2-minute on the bus, but I found by the time I walked 20 minutes, it would help me relax in the fresh air. So I was using that to unwind. And then by the time I got back after sauna, I was straight into bed. But I do know that the times I took the bus back, it took me a good hour and a half to sort of chill out. So I think the walk in the fresh air helped me reflect. So that was what my technique was. I know other guys had different ways to cope.
Rationalising someone who was okay one day, and then the next day they were unconscious, the next day they were gone. For me, talking helped with everything. I still talk to people nowadays about it.
If you told me I'd be working on A&E, I'd never in a million years believed you, but I'm glad I did it.
One thing the Army's taught me is to do what you can in what time you've got to the best of your ability.